Hey y'all, we're gonna get into this Married at First Sight episode real fast. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you're returning, welcome back. Let's get into this by couple since it wasn't given, but it had some gems. So first, let's talk about Austin and Becca. They wake up in bed, and the joke is that this show has turned into Survivor, which is very true because people are coming off the island left and right, and these couples are not lasting. Next, Austin is shown at Becca's studio where she surprises him with his friends and family to photograph. So there's two babies and adults obviously that he knows, and then she teaches him how to use her camera. And Austin said he liked how good she was with the kids, so he hopes they get to an understanding about religion since it could be good to plan further, which shows he might not have been planning further so far, but hopefully we'll hope for the best. Next, we see Becca and Austin playing house with their fish children, and it's some Dalmatian fish, which is what's in the thumbnail. And on After Party, Austin said that the fish are named Gwen and Danny after the Married at First Sight producers, which was kind of cute. But what was not cute was after when all that crying last week about going to hell, Becca went on and made a religious joke about why don't we baptize the fish? She said some remix of a line from The Exorcist when she said, the power of shrimp compels you. And she's looking at Austin trying to get him to laugh. And I just felt like if she thinks disrespecting his religion will make Austin abandon his beliefs and change his mind about her going to hell any faster, and Becca needs to think again. So Becca and Austin then meet up with his parents for dinner, and it's very cool how they both, accept her and they want to go trace their ancestors in Connecticut. It was very, very funny. Next, Brennan and Emily. So we switch from the lighthearted-ish couple, or the most lighthearted couple, to the couple that's in shambles. So Emily starts off the episode saying that Brennan was angry at her. He didn't say goodbye when he left, and he texted her saying that she acted crazy last night. And she cries and says she deserves better. And on the After Party, we hear Brennan's side of the story, and he said that he was mad at her. What had happened the night before was not only what we saw at the dinner, but like she had also ripped the shower curtain down and tried to smother him, trying to get into the shower with him. And then she also didn't let him sleep that night before by keeping on going on his side of the bed. So that's why he was like, very strong on his boundaries and trying to put his foot down about not feeling heard. A little more, obviously. But again, he's still obsessed with his image. So he's doing it in these like passive aggressive ways, like by text and not saying goodbye and stuff. So he can't really get caught on camera. So next you see Emily meeting with Lily, and she's saying she's gonna need a whole bottle of wine to talk about Brennan. And then they showed a flashback of Brennan telling her on camera that the pressure of marriage is too much and they need to focus on being friends. And then Emily basically says that Brennan doesn't really even give her the respect as a friend, so she also feel like they can't do this anymore and the situation is not sustainable. So then the next segment, you see Dr. Pepper meets with Brennan and Emily. And Dr. Pepper, she's usually, the heavy-duty expert. She knows there's some foolishness going on. So Dr. Pepper asked Brennan what more boundaries he feels he needs to be respected, since, he clearly has a wall up and he hasn't been giving her much, and now he wants even more boundaries. And then she also asked him what in the world they're talking about when they say, they're trying to do friendship, because there's like two different kinds of friendship, according to her. And then Brennan says, well, they're figuring that out, so he don't really know And Emily also agrees. So Dr. Pepper just says, listen, the experts want them to develop a romantic bond. So she tells them that directly, and then she starts trying to get them to like each other again and just ask them what they like about each other to list it. And then Brennan's list only has two things that are actually fairly similar. She's like, she's caring and she's nice to be around. And it was very begrudging. It took a little long to come up with them things. And then Emily's list was long, very lucid. And even Dr. Pepper was like, yeah, Emily's list is better. So then Dr. Pepper suggests tasks for them to help them move forward, like doing a fishbowl exercise together. So then after the meeting, Brendan so he thought it went well and that he liked Dr. Pepper's tasks. And I thought that was interesting because he didn't like Dr. Pia's tasks. But again, he's always like hiding his true feelings, so who knows if he even liked it. And then Emily even gave a little shady comment saying that the meeting went as well as it could go, given how Brennan has been doing, which was shade, but really all truth because he's a character to deal with. Literally, he's not being himself. Next, Brennan and Emily do the fishbowl question exercise in the hot tub, and Brennan is clearly still putting on, a front for the cameras and just selling an image of himself because he doesn't answer two of the questions. And the ones he does answer, he shares vague stories about strained relations with his parents and sister. To be fair to him, Emily does not ask follow-up questions, but he then tells Emily that he's getting sick in the hot tub. And she tells him to suck it up since she's sick of him, basically. And she thinks he's making another excuse to get out of it. So then, on after party, Brennan also says he expected her to be nice. And he says in the episode 2, so he's shocked that she's like not being understanding to him, wanting to get out of the hot tub. And then they argue about the ordeal in the kitchen since Emily says that he'd be staying in the hot tub much longer on his own. And apparently he was in it like 2 hours the other day. And that was funny. He says that, well, his Wednesday night hot tub session is different than what they're doing since their exercise is exerting energy and is stressful, and it's an exercise on top of the hot tub vibes. And Emily just thinks she's being dramatic, and like, again, she was not asking follow-up questions about his sister and whatnot. So even though she's calling him out for not being into it, she does kind of demonstrate that she's a little checked out herself. But does she have a reason to hold out hope? No, so this friend thing that they're trying to do is probably not even going to work because the marriage is in shambles and it's just annoying to both of them at this point. So Cameron and Claire, they didn't have many scenes. The first scene we see them was Claire waking up alone from Cameron and acting like she wasn't used to it, but she basically kicked that man out of the house. And he said as much that he was asked by her to move out, and he was like, you really want me to move out? And then she was acting like she wasn't sure about it on camera, but she been wanted him out. Next, Dr. Pia talks to Claire, and she says that Cameron is sick, and she's crying these guilty tears, and she thinks that maybe her adding stress to his life may have exacerbated his heart condition. And then Dr. Pia tells her it's not her fault and asks who was supporting her. She says her family's there, but then she feels bad even more for Cameron because he don't have family there. So then Dr. Pia says maybe it could be a good idea for her to offer her family and friends as support to him. But it's all just messy. And Cameron's literally like, I have a broken heart. Claire broke my heart. And I feel like it's something he was born with. But then again, he talks about his father's lung collapsing or something when the mom, and him fell out. So maybe him and his family is prone to kind of psychosomatic things happening. But he says that he has this heart condition that he needs a procedure for. So he hasn't been doing anything because there's a risk of his heart rate elevating. But it seems like he did do something to his hair because his hair looked different to me. But other than that, he said he's not even like biking, nothing, which is probably frustrating for him. And again, it does seem a little bit like he's insinuating that Claire contributed to, what's going on with him, but he didn't say it that directly. He was like, I can't confirm or deny if it contributed to it. So then you also see a scene of Claire having a meeting with one of her folks, and she was explaining her circumstances, but it was boring, and I'm done with them. So let's do the new couple, the new kids in town, Michael and Chloe. So first you see the experts brainstorm about how they're going to match Michael again. They pick Chloe, who they say is desperate for marriage and desperate for love. I was like, dude, desperate's no. And then Chloe, they say she's looking for a man with heart. And Michael's an eccentric businessman who may find a good thing with Chloe, but I'm not sure, since they're saying some things that I'm not sure will be good for them. Chloe says she's a recovering perfectionist and minimalist who doesn't want too many things in her space, not even a nightstand. And she didn't have fun in her early years of life since she was out checking boxes, making sure she had the perfect job, perfect this, perfect that. And she was making straight A's but not enjoying the journey of life. But then she said on an after party that, now she considers herself like a hippie at heart who likes to forest bathe and hug trees, and she hopes her partner is the same. And then she also said in an after party that she had one major 5-year relationship and then a major 2-year relationship, but neither of the men had anything quite right. Had everything quite right, sorry. So I'm scared for Michael a little bit with this perfectionist thing. She then has a meeting with her folks and Dr. Pepper over like dinner. And they say they're going to give her husband in a few days. So they go wedding dress shopping after that. And she tried on this pink dress, which actually made me think of Michael's eccentricity, but then she opts for the more traditional white wedding dress. So it seems like even though she's been opting for perfection, maybe she does have this rebellious streak inside her, this nonconformist side that could, vibe well with Michael's, marching to the beat of his own drummer kind of thing. But while Chloe was happily wedding shopping, I was secretly hoping that the producers don't drag out their relationship too much. Kind of want the expedited version of their progress. And we'll just see how it goes next week. I feel like we're going to get more Cameron blaming Claire for him being sick. And I just don't know what to do about them. But put y'all opinion in the comments. What do you make of Michael and Chloe, and then also Karen's condition, and then Austin and Becca? Do you think that they're gonna get anywhere? Because he's not interested in having relations with that lady. But I think the fish children might be all the children he might have with her, because he's saying they got to figure this religion thing out. And based on her disrespectful jokes, I feel like she's trying to, set the tone that, religion is not okay and a laughable thing. And whether it's, joking about it constantly or crying about it constantly, there's a point where Austin's going to be like, listen, we don't see eye to eye and I can't do that, So what do y'all think? And no matter what, remember, you're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Bye.